Get ready for Netflix's gripping new medical drama, Pulse. Set in a cutting-edge Miami trauma center, third-year resident Dr. Danny Sims is unexpectedly thrust into a promotion when beloved chief resident Dr. Xander Phillips gets suspended. Then, with the emotional and physical stakes at their highest, a storm will push the hospital and its residents to their limits. Witness how life can change in a heartbeat when you're operating under pressure. Watch Pulse, only on Netflix.
The #1 selling product of its kind with over 20 years of research and innovation. Botox Cosmetic, onabotulinum toxin A, is a prescription medicine used to temporarily make moderate to severe frown lines, crow's feet, and forehead lines look better in adults.
Effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness may be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Don't receive Botox Cosmetic if you have a skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyebrow and eyelid drooping, and eyelid swelling. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Tell your doctor about medical history, muscle or nerve conditions including ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects. For full safety information, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
See for yourself at BotoxCosmetic.com.
TaxAct knows filing your small business taxes can be a nightmare, like the kind where you're being chased by a giant W-2 form and you're running and running, but you can never reach the submit button. Or something like that. So, TaxAct offers Expert Assist with live tax experts to make filing taxes less scary. Now, you can just have pleasant dreams about being chased by other giant, non-threatening paperwork. TaxAct. Let's get them over with.
Hello, hello.
Fistine Friday.
Damn, that was a big fucking build-up. That was a big one. That was a big one. Welcome to Fisting Friday, where we just hang out and catch up. And I had so much fun recording in person last week.
Yeah,
and I wish we could have done it this week.
Physically, it just wasn't possible this week.
No. I think I would also have to get the brand new compression socks that I got surgically removed from my body. Melissa, turns out I have not been using the right amount of compression.
You said that last week.
The new ones I got, though. Now imagine putting on 100% cotton, no stretch Levi jeans on a supersized kielbasa sausage. That was me trying to slide them onto my swollen ankles.
They're not a good move to put on once you're already swollen to begin with.
Well, unfortunately, that's my base level.
Wrap it up.
I started getting cuts because when I would walk, it was just like,
why were you walking on those? Oh, this was when you were at Disneyland.
No, this was before because I had to get them warmed up to my body before I went. And my ankles have never looked smaller. Granted, they're still quite large and quite swollen, but it is.
And just to say, you just have naturally thick ankles too.
Oh, I was born with American Girl doll ankles. Like I have cankles, but what has happened with my circulation and the pod sense has given me what Stacy did say. Oh my god, my feet looked like that right before I was about to give birth, and I was like, for sure, like that's they look a little similar to people who are pregnant and their ankles and feet swell up. So
that's how I look when I get off the plane, and that's why I wear compression socks all the time.
Me too, and now that's just kind of my new normal. But I went to CVS and I got. Because like they're based on, there's like a level of a scale
there's a scale, yeah. And
I didn't know that, of course. It's humbling, and I still can't get them all the way up. Well, but this is your sign, everybody. Get some good compression socks.
Are your feet propped up now?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
And I wore my insoles in my shoes.
You gotta get you some Dr. Scholl's shoes, though.
I was talking to Mats about that, and I was like, I gotta get him some. I did just order us both Crocs because like garden.
Yeah,
outdoor shoes.
it's as someone who has both Crocs and Dr. Scholl's, it's different.
Yeah,
like
well, because my
you
issue,
can feel it.
I want to replace my rain boots because I wear my rain boots when I'm just out in the garden, and those are
I
like
do the same
flat.
thing with mine.
And so I'm like, that's what I need the Crocs for.
Mhm.
But I need to get Dr. Scholl's.
My rain boots are Sperry, and they actually have like great arch support.
Oh, I used to have some. I think. I don't know. I should check. That's a good point.
Mhm.
Maybe I do somewhere. No, I had Timberlands.
No arch support.
No, but kind of cute.
They're very cute.
Like,
But mine are in those the ones that I have look
the
like
same style.
The same style of Timberlands. As Timberlands, I should say.
Maybe I should do that. How was your weekend?
It was good. I met up with some friends. We went out to, this was on Friday, we went out to a coffee shop, and
the way that you didn't tell me about that high-speed chase and I had to see it on your fucking Instagram story, you know I love a high-speed chase.
I'm
I had to
sorry,
find about it
was-
days later. I could have been watching live feed.
it was so wrapped up and so
I meant to
unexpected.
yell at you when I saw that immediately.
So wrapped up, so unexpected, just having a good old time, and then this girl like freaks out, and we're like, what's going on? Don't know her. And she said like she had got texts. I guess her friends are better than I am. She had got texts from her friends because she's obsessed with them. And then everyone at the coffee shop gathered around to watch.
Isn't it? They still haven't caught the person, right?
I didn't follow up.
I'm pretty
not
sure
as
the last
invested as you are.
the last I checked, like 2 days ago, they went into a parking garage and they like lost them.
Love it.
Yeah.
So, also my friends have, I mean, you and I both are aunts.
Mhm.
And but you know, and of course the kids that we love are the cutest babies ever, but also their baby is also the cutest baby ever. She is 16 months, just walking, but like can move around like nobody's business. So friendly. She was going around to every single person in the coffee shop, giving them a high five, waving at them. She got up on the stage. There's a stage there for when they have like
Go Diva Go.
Like poetry stuff. And she was up there. There were people mad that she didn't like acknowledge them, and then they were coming up. It was a whole thing.
Is this your friend's kid or a random kid?
Friend's kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
A performer.
Yes.
Good thing they're in Hollywood, baby.
Yes. And her father works in development and mother works in music. So this kid's going to be a star.
Of course.
There was also a man there making beats. Like fully had his board. I don't know because he had headphones on.
No, you
fully
can't
had
making
his
beats
board
in public with a head. No.
and he was going hard, like going so hard. And then she went over, the little baby went over
and said, "Play me a beat."
And started like, and he let her. Like he was very,
Cute.
like I said, everybody loved this little kid.
Yeah.
And she was pushing on his little keyboard and things. It was so cute.
Oh, that is so fun.
Yeah.
I love that age.
Yeah, it was precious.
You're just a performer.
Mm-hmm.
That's so fun. Was the DJ guy getting was he drinking a matcha? I feel like that's their vibe.
I wasn't paying that much attention to him.
Well, you also had the high-speed car chase and the baby too.
There was a lot going on. And then Saturday, my friend Jordan Duffy, look her up. She's got a new album out, but she had a release party for her album, and me and Samantha went to that, and it was a good time.
Hell yeah, fun.
Yeah.
You had a good weekend.
I did.
What'd you do Sunday?
Sunday, I think I just relaxed. Oh, I had my last writing class.
Oh yeah.
So that went well. And then now this weekend I have my Audible Sundance lab. So
hell yeah. And you texted me on Monday being like, I wondered if you were going to Disneyland still because the weather is so bad. And then you're like, but I see your location.
Mm-hmm. And I see that you're there.
And you are there. And
How was that?
It didn't rain. So I wonder if it like had rained. I think it did rain a little bit before we got there, maybe. I brought like a rain, like pond, like one of those really thin ones just in case. But it was really fun. Like, I think the weather was honestly perfect because it was like 60s. And of course I was sweating. So I was in a t-shirt, and I did have my sweatshirt on still though. And it was like perfectly overcast. So like, I just, to me, I'm like, I don't want it to be too sunny because sometimes the rides are really reflective and then it just hurts your eyes.
And it's hot.
Yes. And I can't stress
the rides absorb the heat.
So hot. They get so fucking hot. But it was fun, and I walked up when they were on Dumbo, and my nephew, like, every time they'd start going, like, hi, and like waving to me, and I was like, hello. So that was fun. We also saw, it was the cutest thing in the fucking world. So like we saw a lot of characters, and we like stumbled upon a parade, which I thought was so great, and he was like so excited to be like, oh my god, look, there's Alice in Wonderland, and she is with Cruella de Vil. Like, it was like my Super Sweet Life on deck. Like, he was like, look at the crossover of all of my faves.
I nodded my head as if I knew what you were referring to.
Is,
but
that's fine.
But you said crossover.
Yeah,
so
the crowd gets it.
It's a Avengers movie.
Exactly.
Got it.
Oh, so then we saw like a bunch of other ones. We saw like Elsa, and we saw Anna, and like he can get like, he's like such a ham, but like he can get like, I wouldn't call him like shy, but like he can get like, I know he's 5, but we do call it like he's brooding. Like, he's just like he's like a little moody, sassy, being like, which is covering up for the fact that he's a little shy. Like he just be like, no, I don't want to. You mean. And so we like didn't go up to any of them, which was like fine. And I also like didn't expect that to be the big thing that he wanted. He just wanted to like see them in passing. But we did walk by Rapunzel from Tangled and Flynn Rider, but he has never seen Tangled. But there was this little girl who just like walked up to Flynn and just held his hand, and they were just walking through the park, and we were behind them for like 10 minutes. It was just, she was just holding his hand, and you know, like the Disneyland mentality is like, same thing with hugs and all of that kind of like physical connection. Like, they let the kid dictate when that's over. And I'm just like literally like watching these parents be like, oh, this is so sweet. And then them being like, okay, wonder if she's ever gonna let go of his hand. Like, hey, okay,
this is my best friend now.
Yes. And it was just like so sweet. And he was just like holding her hand as they all walked to the park together. And we saw like so many just like sweet kids in the park who which I forget that like when you are like a little kid, you just, every other little kid is your peer. And so we'd be like next to someone in line, and they would just like turn to him and be like, hi. And he would be like, hi. And I was like, wait, this is like so fucking sweet. So that was like really fun. And I found out that paper straws have gluten in them. That was a new thing I found out at Disneyland. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So I got a burger and fries gluten-free, which I've never had. I've gotten to like the Mexican restaurant. I've had like fajitas before, but like I usually have stuck to like the same couple of things. I've also never done like kid Disneyland, which I have to say, I've spent like no time in Toontown. And now that I have, kind of for good reason. Toontown is not the best.
Yeah, when I first moved here, we like my mom, Melanie, and Arely drove here.
Okay.
I don't know why Meghan didn't come. Like, that's her kid, but I don't.
Hey, she said I can't do. Take her for a bit.
Right. And just to think the fact that she's 18 now.
No, that's
and
fucking
she
crazy.
Was 4, I think, so around the same age when we took her, and that's all we did was the kids stuff because like we're not big ride people as it is anyway, but and all she wanted to do was like Toontown and see the princesses, and she was set. Like, she didn't want to do anything else.
And you're like, this is like honestly the cheapest version of Disneyland you could want, and like we're paying the premium price for what I would say is a Knott's Berry Farm level experience.
Yeah, but she and the look on her eyes when she would see the princesses.
Yeah.
And so we had the best Princess Tiana too. Like, she was so in character. And so like, it's beautiful to see it through their eyes.
It totally is. The fact though that we were standing there and like I almost like put my foot down because there's like a little park in Toontown where you just run around. Like, it's a park. And he was playing on it, and I wanted to be like, okay, you can do the park anywhere. Like, come on. Yeah, so I was like, because like we didn't get to do like a lot of the things that I would normally do. But no,
taking the baby.
But also, because of that, we did things that like I've only done like one time, like the storybook, like little boat ride or whatever.
Yeah.
And I've done that like once, probably when like I don't know, like maybe the first or second time I'd ever been. And I don't remember it well, but like there's so many additional movies now that like they have all of this other stuff added. And I was like, oh, this is like very cool. And it was also really nice not to have to be the only person who sat out instead of going to the Guardians of the Galaxy drop ride, because I can't do that anymore. I
mean, I never would want to do that.
Yeah. I did discover though that the man I am marrying, isn't a big, it is not huge on rides. He told me, he's like, I like rides. And I think like I've always been surrounded by roller coaster people like my whole life. Like I was a roller coaster kid. Like I love it. There's like certain specific ones that I don't like. I don't like ones that make me feel like I'm going to get like a spinal cord injury. Like the ones that are really shaky and rickety and your head isn't supported. I don't like those. And I used to love drop rides. That's only like in the last like probably like 10 years or something that I like couldn't do it. But he didn't like say a word to me about like, he gave me no prep of being like, I'm not like a huge ride person. I just assumed he was because we're going to Disneyland and he's never told me he's not. We get up on this.
Y'all have been together for so long and this is a new thing that you're discovering.
Yes. But it's like such a boy thing because so we get up in the whatever, not like Astroblast, but like the Astro Orbiter ride, and it like gets into the air, and immediately I'm like, we should have switched positions. I was in the front, he was in the back, and women have wider hips than men, so like him getting like the angle, I was like, I should have been behind you.
Wait, because didn't somebody on TikTok say that you have a lesbian boyfriend?
Oh, thanks. I remember that. Hey, that'd be lovely. I take it.
I was like, what does that even mean?
No, I know. I know. And like, not to get into stereotypes, but like, as someone who knows a lot of lesbians, like, he'd be a lot more helpful in certain areas. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, okay. But and I have like smaller legs. I mean, I have longer legs, but I have like skinnier legs. So I'm like, I should have been behind him because my long ass fucking legs trying to fit in the front of it is not giving him as much room in the back, and like he's then having to go around my hips, which are wider than his. And I was like, where the fuck is the seatbelt? Thank God that Disneyland employee was like, here. I was like, cool, because I was like, we're gonna die in this, there's no way. As soon as we get up in the air, I'm feeling like a little dizzier than I would have expected from this ride. This man clutches onto me so tight. We land and I go, you don't really like rides, do you? And he goes, I mean, and I was like, no, because you were holding me with the grasp of fear. That was not like a loving and caring, like, oh, she might be feeling dizzy. That was like, you thought this was us in the Titanic and the water was rising. Like, you thought these were our last moments together. And he was like, I mean, I've kind of have scared me a little bit. And I was like, oh, okay. So we had like one last ride we were going to do at the end of like after my sister-in-law and my nephew left. And it was like an hour-long fucking wait.
Okay, that makes more sense. I saw when y'all were still there and I was like, the baby is there that late?
No, we did lose the car for well over 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like so not concerned about it, and Maz was like freaking out, and then afterwards he was like, sorry about that. I was like, oh no, babe, I've done this pretty much every time I've gone to Disneyland. Like I've also lost my car in the Century City Mall overnight. Like I'm very familiar with this. This is not my first rodeo.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Shifting a little money here, a little there, and hoping it all works out? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can be a better budgeter and potentially lower your insurance bill too. You tell Progressive what you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll help you find options within your budget. Try it today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states. There are many ways to entice a potential new customer with flashy branding and calculated marketing strategies. But at the end of the day, the success of a business comes down to the ability to close the sale. And for businesses like Thrive Cosmetics, Allbirds, or Skims, It's what goes on behind the scenes, making selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple that makes the difference. For them and for millions of businesses, that difference is made with Shopify. Businesses that want to grow, grow with Shopify. Because if your goal is growth, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. And Shopify will make sure you're ready. On the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. And with Shop Pay, they boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going. It's no wonder Shopify is home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Allbirds uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. That's shopify.com/realm.
Oh my God, it's the coolest thing ever. Hey guys, have you heard of Goldbelly? Well, check this out. It's this amazing site where they ship the most iconic famous foods from restaurants across the country, anywhere nationwide. I've never found a more perfect gift than food. They ship Chicago deep dish pizza, New York bagels, Maine lobster rolls, and even Ina Garten's famous cakes. Seriously. So if you're looking for a gift for the food lover in your life, head to goldbelly.com and get 20% off your first order with promo code GIFT.
I kept saying like space, because I love Space Mountain, like my fucking favorite ride. Like and I was just talking about how fun it was like the whole time. And then we were going to do one final ride, but it was like an hour wait. And I was like, the end of the day, our like legs are tired, our feet are dead. And we ended up not doing it. And then I was like, also, I'm not sure if like that's going to have a good payoff for you, because it is a roller coaster in the dark. Mm-hmm. So, but we said next time we're going to go, he was like, he was, in his words, he was like, I was like, well, it's expensive to go. And he was like, I mean, it's not like the most expensive hobby. And I was like, oh, I forgot you golf. And he was like, well, I think you deserve like an expensive hobby. And I was like, I love that Disneyland could be my expensive hobby. But I didn't realize that and this pisses me off so much that it didn't click for me. But it didn't click for anyone else. And like, it wasn't my responsibility to like know everything about Disneyland. All the adults booked their own we did all of our own things. That the SoCal ticket, it was like, a SoCal ticket, instead of being like typically how it used to be, it was a discounted price on a one-day ticket for SoCal residents within a certain zip code area. And then now it's like a 3-day pass. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, why the fuck would I do 3 days? They don't mean 3 consecutive days. They just mean 3 days over the course of like 6 months. But like that's in the click to learn more. Yeah. And so I'm like, oh, we could have actually gone 3 times for the price of one ticket now.
Well, unfortunately, for the next time.
And that's what he said. And so now I'm like, okay. And they also, It's a Small World is under construction, and so was Indiana Jones, which he has never been on, which would have been his favorite ride. And it literally opens up in like 10 days. And I was like, fuck. So
again, next time.
Do you like Disneyland? You like Disney World. I told Mott's that.
World more, but Florida, not down for it anymore. So
no, our hair would look great though.
Yeah. So I would prefer Disneyland.
But like prefer in the sense someone's holding a gun to your head and says you have to pick, you would choose.
You'd spend your money to go. But I think you and I would have different experiences because you like rides. I'm there for the food.
Oh no, by the way, I would love to go with, I've only ever been with people who are there for the rides. Mm. And I was telling Moms, I was like, I've always said that like my goal is to have like a Disneyland pass. But like, unless I have a friend whose goal is also to have a Disneyland pass, my goal is not to go to Disneyland by myself in the middle of the week. Yeah. And that would be what happens if I just get a pass. Mm-hmm. And he was like, well, I feel like, what about Lily? And I went, no, her back on a fucking ride. I was about to
say, she can't walking around.
No, she's not. And like her back is doing better than it has done in like forever. And she's not gonna fucking risk that. Yeah. By getting on a goddamn ride. And also I was like, yeah, that's just like not her. Like she would without a doubt do it for like someone's birthday or whatever. But like she's not trying to get a pass.
And also that's even further for her to have to drive too.
And I was saying, my best bets are Melissa and Casey, which I was like, without a doubt would go if I wanted to go for my birthday or if I wanted to plan like a random trip to Disneyland. But I was like, but I do not know if either of them want to strive for a life goal is to also have a Disneyland pass?
Not currently, but in the future.
Okay, so you could be open to it. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you get discounts on food, too.
Yeah.
And we were there during, like, the food and wine festival, the food festival, something. But yeah, I've never been with a foodie, and, like, I'll see people on TikTok doing, like, the Disneyland food stuff, and I'm like, oh, I need to go with someone like this, because I've only ever gone with, like, ride junkies, like, people who are, like, so, like, the first time I ever rode Space Mountain, I think I rode it 4 times in one day, because, like...
See, I'll do that, because that's, like, not an exciting ride, but, like, I'm not going 4 times.
No, and granted, I don't think I've ever gone 4 times since. This person they were like I think it was Jake, and Jake has been to, like, I think he's been to every Disneyland, like, or Disney property. Like, they were that classic all-American family who, like, did their Disney vacations. And he showed me well, but it was good. I also, how do you feel about the teacups?
Teacups. I'm fine with those. Like, I like little rides, but I'm not getting in no haunted hotel elevator shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you spin a lot? Do you like it? Do you feel? Would you do the? So
here's the trick: after you spin one way, you gotta spin the other way so you're not dizzy.
Melissa, you're my perfect Disney person, because as someone who, when I spin one direction, I also feel like I have to unwind. Yeah. In my perfect world, every ride would spin you once one way and once the other way. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. How do you feel? Have you been on Tiana's new ride?
I haven't been since that's open.
So,
but I want to go.
But so they just redid Splash Mountain.
Yeah,
I really, really want. I've heard it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And I want to go eat the food. I'm very much on Disney TikTok.
Me too.
But mostly for the evil queen, that actress that plays her.
I just ended up there last night.
She also plays sometimes Maleficent.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody leaked her actual name, and she's like hamming it up over there, but she can't say that it's her. Big fan of her.
She's got the look down.
Yeah, and there's two of them. And they swap between Maleficent and Evil Queen, and they're both good, but one of them's like really good.
Yeah. No, she's got I know who you're talking. She's got that like evil twinkle in her eye, which my nephew has said that every time we see anything Maleficent related, he was like, Maleficent is the most evil of all of the evil villains. Do you know why? And I was like, why? And he goes, because she's mean and she's smart. And I was like, damn, that was fucking.
Well, he needs to see the Maleficent with
eventually
Angelina Jolie, because we get her perspective.
I always try and tell him, like, anytime like we watch something where there's like a villain or whatever, I was like, well, you know, like, this is the thing with like people who are bad people or mean people doesn't mean that they're always like that. Because like he still isn't finished, because this is one of the first ones I think he watches Toy Story, and he got to like the Sid part, like the mean kid, and he like didn't like it. And I was like, you know, but like it doesn't mean Sid is going to be like a mean grown up or even like a mean kid after that. Like, some people have reasons or whatever why they do the things that they do. And he's like giving me this look, and like here I am trying to add like context and nuance and backstory to these misunderstood villains. Yeah. And he's like, I'm literally 5. I'm like, okay, fair. That's fine. But I really want to see that Maleficent. I haven't watched it.
It's so good. Like, it's
me
and Melanie used to sit and watch it all the time.
I'm down. It's beautiful. Like how it's just like, it's a gorgeous, like how they made it. I want to.
Yeah, and she's great in it.
And I was thinking of watching live action Little Mermaid this weekend too.
Good movie too.
Holiday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength Holiday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Holiday. Holiday, bring it on.
Canva presents the killer of productivity. It was an ordinary workday until...
Oh no, this meeting, it could have been an email.
Run. Canva had a creative solve.
Get email. I'll just put the info the team needs in a Canva doc, and I'll make it visual with images, charts, and graphics.
Bring productivity killers to justice with creativity. Love your work at canva.com.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. It's tax season, and we're all a bit tired of numbers. But here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now here's a good number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it. Guaranteed. Save up to 40% your first year at LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Did you finish The Residence?
No, I'm only on episode 4.
Oh my God. I'm so excited for you.
Thanks.
You've got so much
I've
goodness.
got 4 more episodes left.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good for you.
Thanks.
I did finish it, and I realized that there is one character. Who was it on there that played that? But one actor has been, only one of them has been on both The Residence and The Resident.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, love that.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out that the first husband,
mm-hmm.
found out the first husband plays like the nerdy guy in NCIS LA, which completely shocked me because I have watched an embarrassing amount of NCIS LA, and I had no idea that was the same fucking man.
The guy that plays the chef, the pastry chef, he is somebody that I've watched pretty much my whole life, but I think I missed like when he started being like in his 50s, 60s, so I didn't see what he looked like
now.
He
just got aged up.
Yes. And so he but there was something familiar about him, and I was like, I don't know, I gotta look this up. And he played, I'm sure you didn't watch this because it was the precursor for Family Matters. It was called Perfect Strangers, and he also had a little accent on that show too, but a different one. And he played one of the the cousin Balky. Family Matters is actually a spinoff from that show. Also, he was on Step by Step for a little bit, which was another another TGIF show. Yeah,
Step by Step,
day by day.
That played on Nick at Night when I had stomach flu. I remember it. Okay, did he also have a little accent?
I think he did there too.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
I love when that becomes someone's shtick, and then they're like, I wonder if I'm ever gonna like get to use my own voice.
And then I was looking at his Wikipedia, and he had to file for bankruptcy because he was trying to like he bought up the block and was like restoring houses and stuff, and then he was like, I actually don't know how to run businesses, and lost millions of dollars. Yeah.
Do you think it was Jenny's block or a different block?
It was a different block.
Well, she was running
up and down the block.
I need her to pay. I need someone to hold her accountable and be like, what is that, Jennifer? What does that mean? Like,
she was just playing.
No, I know, but
the way she said it, it was like she was spinning. Well, she did have a drug dealer boyfriend, so she actually probably was running up and down the block in the way that we meant it.
But I don't think that. By the way, if that's a bad drug dealer girlfriend, don't. He's still innocent. What are you talking about? Like, my man did nothing wrong. Like. So like the idea of just like don't draw attention to that part. You should don't you know the phrasing.
Yeah.
Do you know what made me feel crazy was that the you've met the brother, right? The president's brother?
Yes, he was in like the first episode.
So his IMDb uses a photo of him when he's in his 20s, and I was like, okay. It was also interesting because I was like, he definitely doesn't read like younger brother to me. Like they both look around the same age-ish. But he was in The Incredibles. He played Syndrome.
Well, how the hell would I know that? As if The Incredibles has a live action version.
I didn't know either until like I literally because after I finish the show, of course I pull up IMDb and I have to check what everybody is in. And by the way, if I make it to the last episode when I'm doing that, you know the show's really good. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm doing it mid episode. And I looked that up and I was like, holy fucking shit! I literally just watched you in The Incredibles, and here you are in this show. But he's like been working forever. It was a great cast. I just like I loved it. I can't wait for you to finish it. It was good. It paid off. Like it didn't. But now I don't. Yeah. Do you think they're gonna do more seasons?
If they do, I'm sure it'll be just like a different case, right? I don't know because I don't know how it ends, but I feel like it would be a different case each one.
I guess
then you've got it, since it's called The Residence, it's still got to take place in some big house.
Okay, a big house. Okay, that was my question, because I had the exact same thought of being like, you could without a doubt continue this. It'd be perfect for a continuation series in the sense that like you just have different, a singular case takes up a season. But I had the same hang up about like the name of the show, The Residence, but I didn't think about it about like, oh, it could be where anyone resides. It doesn't have to be the White House.
Yeah, because even like the first, I was going to say season, the first movie of Glass Onion, that takes place in a house. So it could have been like that.
Actually, and then the second one
is actually also at a house.
Also kind of house.
Yeah, it's a compound. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Now I feel bad. I was like really sad. I was like mourning this, even though I don't know. No one has told me that it's not getting renewed, but I was like convinced it wasn't going to.
It might be a one-off like the Anna Delvey one.
I still want more Anna Delvey too.
Yeah, me too. There's still story to tell. Get the Dancing with the Stars.
But also like
her time in prison.
I know, but I have to say, Shonda has done. She's like really been like edging us, like leaving us wanting more. Same thing with Queen Charlotte.
Yep.
One season, one and done. And I go, what the fuck do you mean one and done? This is the best love story I've seen on television in so fucking long.
I want to see Lady Danbury too.
Me,
like, just give me
too.
one. Maybe there's just one Queen Charlotte, but then we get a Lady Danbury. Why can't we get that? And then we bring those actresses back.
And what about young Violet?
Yeah.
And her husband.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we definitely have to see that too.
They fell in, and they're like the only like love match of that season, and like I think they even said like prior to that, like love matches were just like a rumor, like a fleeting thing that never actually like happened.
Yep.
It would be great.
Yeah. Today is my AK Akiversary.
So sorry, I can't separate that from Pitch Perfect, but I love that.
Yeah. Well, we've been here longer. But
of course.
Yeah. But yeah, 20 years, baby.
For
me.
Your personal.
Yes.
Is it an initiate?
It was founded in 1908.
No, I know, but I was wondering, is it an initiate? Like,
yes.
Is this like a recognized day for everybody or just
for
your
me?
chapter?
For my, we call it line. So my pledge class would be what you would call
okay.
It. Yes.
Okay. So like, there's different days for every.
Yes. Everybody has their own day, and this is my 20th anniversary.
Excuse me. Congratulations.
Thanks.
I love that for you.
That's why I wore the shirt because I can't actually wear my letters because they'd be like, take that down.
Yeah.
We don't know. Actually, this episode has been very wholesome for once. So
I mean, the start of the Fisting Friday part, maybe
I could have toned it down, but the actual episode has been very wholesome.
Yeah. Have you been on Miss Spellman TikTok?
Yes. And so my friend, the lady who I was out with on Friday, she went to Spellman. And so I sent her a message and I said, the lady, this Miss Spellman stuff, like, I don't understand it because I've never seen, like, I love what I'm seeing, but I've never seen anything like this. Is this new, or is this they're just allowing things on TikTok now? And she was like, what are you talking about? And then I sent her a video, and she said, they did not do this when I was in school, because it looks like, from somebody like a Greek perspective, Black Greek organization, it looks like they're coming offline is what we call it when you're done with your pledging. Yeah. So it looks like, I was like, are they like pledging? She's like, I've never seen any of this. And she's like, I am dying. So she's like, we're going through videos, like looking at them and sending things back and forth. And she's like, it was never like this before.
I was so confused because I was like, this has to be from last year. Like, there's no way you're actively posting in current time of people who are like nominated or running for this or whatever terminology is being used. And like, even in just like a Greek organization as like a whole,
but it's not a Greek organization. That's the thing.
Even when people commenting about like it, I was like, okay, in my like white girl Greek sorority organization, there is no, if this is something that's like, who is if this is American Idol and the public is voting, like, okay, but like, people were like writing in the comments, like white girls being like, oh my God, I love, how do I vote? My pick is on this one. And I was like,
no,
this is so, I was like, this has to be from like a previous year, and they're just showing like the from last year. But I do think that people have made it into this like again, American, they think it's American Idol, they think they're fan voting, and they're like, well, this person has the most comments, and I was like,
it doesn't matter,
you don't know the rules,
your thoughts don't matter. But they're also doing multiple pageants too. So like the Miss Black and Gold pageant is sponsored by, it's the Alpha Phi Alpha, which is my like brother fraternity, but Spelman is an all girls school, and so I was like, I'm seeing Miss Black and Gold stuff, so like, is it sponsored with Morehouse? Because Morehouse is like their brother school that is a all guy school. And she's like, yeah. And she was like, so I'm like, so they're happening at the same time. Like there's a lot going on. And she was like, I'm trying to break things out. And I was like, I was Miss Black and Gold at my school. And if I was told I had to do these things, I would have never done it.
On TikTok. And like the way that the cameras aren't moving, there's a tripod. And I was like, because also, like, depending on what you nominate someone for, it, like, has to do with, like, you know, their grades or, like, their, like, and I will say, I fucking love the fact that, like, you're getting a personal insight from someone from Spelman. I'm addicted to the fact that nobody is in those comments from Spelman, like, giving people any information. Yes. It's, like, literally keep being curious, keep asking questions. Yep. And it's just everyone being like, well, I liked this one. Does that mean this one is going to win?
Seems like everybody's for number 4.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
But yeah, it's interesting, and I'm like, I'm loving the content, but I just have never seen anything like this before. And she said, neither have I.
Yeah, I'm like, this has to be like they didn't put it on TikTok or something, because
they've
like,
never done it so publicly like this before, and never put it on. Well, they might have, but didn't put it on TikTok. But I can't see people. Everybody else on campus would have been filming regardless. But,
like,
so,
who won? I don't even think
no, it's not till like mid-April when we get the results.
That's the part that, like, my favorite is how, like, everybody in the audience in the comments, like, thinks they're so involved. I'm like, no, this is a rollout of episodes. Again, I was convinced that this is from last year. I was like, there's no way this is actually live and current. And also, they're like, oh, did this person post? What is this? Oh no, it's a different.
There's like 3 different pageants going on at the same time, and I'm like, are these competing pageants? What's happening?
Oh my God! Someone did Miss Spelman campaigning at Spelman College, contestant number 4, and they did a fake Hot Ones interview.
Love it.
Like, I'm just upset, and it's literally like the people who are filming this are just students at Spelman, and like they're not responding to comments. They're not helping out. They're like, I am documenting my life here, and I love it because everybody is watching quite literally like it is a show. Like, you can't ask the producers of a show, like, being like, hey, I have questions. And they're like, enjoy the content. Right. Keep watching. Keep streaming. Thanks for the numbers. Like, it's just so fun. I love it. And I'm so entertained. I'm so deeply entertained. And also, the careers that these women are going to have, I'm like, whew. Public and speaking, they've all hates to see you coming.
And they've all like have at least 4.0s.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, because that's I know that part of the fact that, like, even to be nominated, you have to be exemplary, like not just within your organization, but the school itself. Like, you have to be so fucking good, and you can't count your like high school extracurriculars. No, you count your college extracurriculars, like all of that kind of stuff. It's not like just a typical. What people think of when they think of like a fraternity,
but this isn't fraternity or anything.
But Greek, if anyone doesn't know about like in white or Panhellenic and Greek Panhellenic sororities, Panhellenic's not the word you use.
We say National Panhellenic. It's NPHC for us.
Okay, then I won't say Panhellenic.
And you're Panhellenic.
Oh, okay, that's the distinction.
Yep.
So in like Greek Panhellenic organizations, you will have a beauty pageant that is sponsored by a fraternity where they just nominate usually the president's girlfriend or like someone who they think is hot, and then she has a pretty dress. Usually she's done a pageant before or like
Mhm.
something like that. And I don't even think she does a talent. They just like walk on stage and it's like people buy tickets and it's a fundraiser event in that sense. Like there aren't any other like prerequisites to that, and they're not picking based on like merit or whatever. But that's because it's like a bunch of like straight boys who are
Mhm.
doing this, and like this is so not that. This is like a whole other level.
So, like, Miss Spellman is, like, for the university. It has nothing to do with any Greek organization. But then Miss Black and Gold is a
Mhm.
fraternity one. And for me, this is what I did 20 years ago. It hasn't been that long. But because, yeah, I don't remember when.
Your
I
anniversary.
think June. It wasn't tied to my sorority. So, it would have been my junior year that I was Miss Black and Gold. So,
But it's tied to the fraternity. You couldn't be Miss Black and Gold if you were unaffiliated.
yes, you can.
Oh.
They
okay.
they sponsor the pageant, but anybody can run. You don't have to be part of an
Oh,
organization.
you don't have to be. Are you nominated?
So you go to like an informational meeting, and then you this one didn't have a nomination. You go to the informational meeting, and then there's like the pageant thing. There's a talent portion, there's an interview portion. You had to do stuff on stage. I did my liturgical dancing.
Fuck yes.
Yes.
Fuck yes.
So like there's all like you have to do that, and I like competed like within there was like when it got down to it was like 6 people that were part of the pageant.
Oh damn.
And then I went to like state too. But like at state these people were talented.
Wait, they had it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yes. And then like there's a national one too.
Holy shit.
So it's huge.
What were the talents at state?
People were like
Fire?
singing opera,
Oh, God.
doing
There's
incredible
always
stuff
one
like
bitch
that.
doing
Yeah.
opera. No ventriloquism?
There actually might have been one. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it was like a huge deal. Like
that is a huge deal.
It was only a couple hours away. So I got like driven down and like stayed in the hotel, and then I had to like schmooze at a little party and stuff. So it's like
Wow.
really big. It was, and there would have been maybe like 8 across the state then had dwindled down.
Wow.
So then I'm like competing on a big level. And then also I didn't hear my question on stage too.
Oh shit.
So it was a thing.
Classic.
But I wasn't really, I only just wanted to do it for fun.
Oh my god, yeah.
And then but these other bitches were like pageant girls that were
they're
serious.
and they're the ones who then go on like The Bachelor, like they
Yes. Yeah. And then because like they were when I ran for homecoming court, then they were my sponsors because I was the reigning Miss Black and Gold. And so because I was also president of NPHC at the time. So I let somebody else from NPHC get nominated for that. And then I ran under, and then for my sorority too, I forgot what, I don't know. I was probably treasurer of my sorority. And so I let somebody else run from my sorority, somebody else run from NPHC, and then I had them sponsor me for homecoming court. And that was a thing too.
Dude, you ran that fucking college. Like, wow.
Yeah. And
you
so
were those people like who like they talk about like people who treat college like it, like this sounds really stupid, but like learning outside of your classes and like life experience outside your classes that's not just like, you know, social stuff, but like social stuff in this aspect of not your free time necessarily, so but like your social stuff in like terms of like getting ahead in your career and like all of that kind of stuff and like using all of this as like resume building and experience building, like you final boss, like you like that is just that's wildly impressive.
Yeah, it was a time.
Last week was our first playoff game, and my plaque psoriasis was so itchy under all my gear. Sometimes just thinking about scratching could take me out of the moment. And then my doctor told me I could get clearer skin with a pill called Otezla.
Otezla apremilast is a prescription medicine used to treat adult patients with plaque psoriasis for whom phototherapy or systemic therapy is appropriate. Otezla can help you get clearer skin after just 4 months.
Okay, ready for the next game.
Talking to my doctor about a pill was a total game changer.
Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Severe diarrhea, nausea or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen. Tell your doctor if any of these occur and if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts. Live in the moment. Ask your doctor about Otezla. Call 1-844-4-OTEZLA or visit Otezla.com for prescribing info about cost, and more.
Acura's all-new ADX, a compact SUV that isn't just built for one thing. It's precision crafted for everything. To escape the grind with available all-wheel drive. To go with your flow with available Google built-in.
Hey Google, turn it up.
Okay, turning up the volume. And crafted to be heard with an available Bang & Olufsen premium sound system. The all-new Acura ADX, crafted to match your energy. Acura, precision crafted performance.
Take your vibes and go, 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 go.
Google is a trademark of Google LLC.
BTW, FYI. Visit Nexplanon.com RN to learn about Nexplanon. It's an adjustable implant, 68 milligrams radio pain. Or ask your HCP IRL. Okay, TTYL.
Before we close this out, I want to share a new perk that we have for our Patreon people. You're like, what are you talking about, Melissa?
Melissa, I'm always like, what are you talking about, Melissa?
So this was kind of a perk that happened naturally. And you don't have to join. I mean, you don't have to like upgrade. It's just like if you're part of our tier with live streaming tier. And so we get to know you, you know, and you may be out and you see somebody that we know and you send a DM and be like, oh my gosh, Melissa, I'm at Chili's next to this person. And I said, go say hi. And then she says, I'm too scared to do this. So then I text them with a picture of the person and say, hey, go yell this person's name. And they do it. And then you get a little something special. And then you freak out and say, Melissa.
Wait,
so
stop.
What happened? Bree was at Chili's. And Jamila and Mecca were like there eating.
Stop. I can see.
And Bree texted and Bree DM'd me that they were next to her. And I said, go say hi. And she was like, I'm too scared. So then I just sent them a text message and said, go yell at this person named Bree. And they did it. And then she was freaking out.
Oh, that's so fun. Wow. Yeah, that is an unintentional perk.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really, really good call. Really good call. Maybe we can start just doing personal cameos. You're a fan of this person? Hey, let me shove a camera in their face. Yep. It's not selfie mode. Mm-mm. I'm holding it. Mm-hmm. Their arms are not involved.
Nope.
And I'm telling them exactly what you want to hear.
Yep.
That's so fun. I love that. Happy for Bree.
Mm-hmm.
So fun. Also, I'm just loving picturing all this happening at a Chili's.
Right. Now it's like while you're enjoying your triple dipper.
And also to me, I'm just like, that is such like a neutralizing place where like I would want to meet someone that I like, that I love and that I'm a fan of, because I'd be like, okay, we're the same, because you're also here enjoying this. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, that is so funny. Well, love that. So join our Patreon.
You never know who you might run into. I know a lot of people.
No,
Megan knows a lot of people.
The way that like I thought. In my head, it immediately went to someone else. And I was like, have you talked about being friends with them in the Patreon? And I was like, that would be...
Who did you think I was talking about? I'll cut it.
Well, we hope you all enjoyed getting fisted.
Oof.
Oof. And this is why you're not wearing your letters. We hope you all enjoyed. And have a wonderful weekend. Stay tuned for all of our wonderful, amazing shows coming out next week. And as always, you can like go back and listen to the highlights.
Please do. Yeah. Let us know your thoughts. Leave messages on Spotify. Direct messages. We'll see them. They're not actually direct messages. They're public messages. But they're direct for that episode.
I'd also love to hear like if you're going to recommend 5 episodes to a friend, what episodes would they be?
Yeah.
And then do it. Recommend it to a friend.
Please do. Thank you all for being here for us and with us. Thank you for your recommendations. We'll see you on Monday for Don't... Oh, no, I did have one more thing to talk about.
Oh, what?
I'll save it for... See you next Tuesday.
Okay.
We're about to record it. You'll hear it in 2 seconds.
I just didn't know if I wasn't going to get it today. And
you'll get it today.
I want it now.
Yeah. We'll see you on Monday for But Am I Wrong? Tuesday for See You Next Tuesday. Wednesday, use that day to listen to your favorite episode. Thursday for Don't Blame Me. And then we'll be back here on Friday for Fisting Friday. And we will...
Fish you later.
Goodbye.
This is a Sister Sign production hosted by me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa D. Montz, plus Diamond Imprint Productions.
Hello, I am Kristen Russo.
And I am Jenny Owen Youngs.
We are the hosts of Buffering the Vampire Slayer once more with spoilers, a rewatch podcast covering all 144 episodes of, you guessed it, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
We are here to humbly invite you to join us for our 5th Buffy prom, which, if you can believe it, we are hosting at the actual Sunnydale High School. That's right. On April 4th and 5th, we will be descending upon the campus of Torrance High School, which was the filming location for Buffy's Sunnydale High, to dance the night away to 90s music in the iconic courtyard, to sip on punch right next to the Sunnydale High fountain, and to nerd out together in our prom best inside of the set of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
All information and tickets can be found at bufferingcast.com/prom. Come join us.
Can you actually change your personality if you want to? How does peer pressure work, and why is it so powerful? Should you ever really trust your gut when you make a big decision? These are just a few of the topics we've recently covered on my podcast, Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and each episode of Something You Should Know covers multiple topics that are likely relevant to you. You'll discover things you can use in your life today, right now, like how to have a great conversation, how to be more courageous, the anatomy of the perfect apology, and much, much more. To date, there are over 1,000 episodes of Something You Should Know, and we've gotten over 4,000 mostly 5-star reviews. I invite you to check out Something You Should Know. Look for the bright yellow light bulb on the blue background. Something You Should Know, wherever you listen to podcasts.
I'm Amy Nicholson, the film critic for the LA Times.
And I'm Paul Scheer, an actor, writer, and director. You might know me from The League, Veep, or my non-eligible for Academy Award role in Twisters.
We love movies, and we come at them from different perspectives.
Yeah, like Amy thinks that, Joe Pesci was miscast in Goodfellas, and I don't.
He's too old. Let's not forget that Paul thinks that Dune 2 is overrated.
It is.
Anyway, despite this, we come together to host Unspooled, a podcast where we talk about good movies, critical hits,
fan favorites, must-sees, and in case you missed them.
We're talking Parasite to Home Alone.
From Grease to The Dark Knight.
We've done deep dives on popcorn flicks. We've talked about why Independence Day deserves a second look.
And we've talked about horror movies, some that you've never even heard of, like Ganja and Hess.
So if you love movies like we do, come along on our cinematic adventure.
Listen to Unspooled wherever you get your podcasts.
And don't forget to hit the follow button.